Let's take a journey into the dark and divine. Encounter demons of every shape and size, from the classic horrors of folklore to modern fiction's original, terrifying creations. Witness the monsters born of cultural mythology, from the ghastly ghouls of Eastern tradition to the bloodthirsty beasts of Western legend. The beauties and horrors of legends, those that live within us. Welcome to Myth and Lores, a journey into the dark and divine. Without further ado, let's jump into another lore. The concept of the devil is complex and varies widely across cultures, religions, and philosophical traditions. In many Western contexts, particularly in Judeo-Christian traditions, the devil is often viewed as the embodiment of evil, opposition to God, and a tempter of human souls. However, the devil's symbolism and significance have evolved and have different interpretations in different traditions. In Judeo-Christian thought, the devil is often identified with Satan, a figure who appears in various parts of the Hebrew Bible and is more fully developed in Christian theology. Satan, originally, refers to an adversarial role rather than a proper name or a figure of ultimate evil. The Hebrew word Satan means accuser or adversary. In books like Job, Satan is depicted as a member of the divine council, acting as a tester or accuser of humanity's faithfulness to God. In the book of Job, Satan challenges Job's righteousness and God's justice, proposing that Job's faith would fail if his material wealth and health were taken away. In other parts of the Hebrew Bible, Satan is seen as a metaphorical adversary, a figure that embodies human temptation or sin, but is not necessarily an independent evil source. In Christian theology, Satan becomes more closely associated with the devil, a fallen angel who opposed God and was cast out of heaven. This narrative draws from several passages in the Bible, particularly Isaiah 14:12, 15, and Ezekiel 28:12-19, which describe the fall of a high, proud figure. While these passages are often interpreted as referring to earthly kings, such as the king of Babylon or the king of Tyre, they were later interpreted by Christian writers like St. Augustine as a veiled reference to Satan's fall. Revelation 12:7-9, where a great battle takes place in heaven and Satan, described as a dragon, is defeated and cast out by the archangel Michael and his angels. Luke 10:18, where Jesus says, "I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven." The devil as a tempter. In Christian thought, the devil is also viewed as a tempter and corrupter of human souls. This is seen most prominently in the story of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, Genesis 3. The devil, often depicted as a serpent, tempts Eve to disobey God's command, leading to the fall of man. The temptation of Jesus. The temptation of Jesus in the wilderness, Matthew 4:11, is another key moment where Satan appears as a tempter, offering Jesus earthly power in exchange for worship. The devil and other religious and cultural traditions. While the concept of the devil as a singular ultimate force of evil is most prominent in Christianity, similar figures can be found in other religious traditions. In Islam, the figure of Iblis serves as a similar function to Satan in Christianity. Iblis is a jinn who refused to bow to Adam when commanded by God, leading to his fall from grace. Iblis is considered the tempter who misleads humans and seeks to lead them astray from the path of righteousness. In Jewish tradition, Satan is not considered an independent evil entity, but rather a functionary of God. He is often seen as an angel who tests people's faith and carries out God's will, as in the book of Job. While Hinduism does not have a single devil figure, many texts include demonic entities or asuras who oppose the gods or represent disorder, temptation, and evil. The Rakshasas are another class of demons that often oppose the divine order. However, in Hinduism, the conflict between good and evil is usually seen cyclically, with eventual reconciliation or cosmic order rather than an eternal, dualistic battle. Symbolism of the devil. The devil has a rich symbolic role across cultures and epics. Some of the key themes associated with the devil include rebellion and pride. The devil is often portrayed as a figure of pride and rebellion, symbolizing the refusal to submit to a higher authority. This is best seen in the Christian story of Lucifer, who, as an archangel, rebelled against God out of pride and desire for power. The devil, in this sense, represents the destructive nature of unchecked ambition and the consequences of defying the divine or natural order. Temptation and corruption. The devil is frequently associated with temptation. The temptation to sin, give in to the base desires, or betray one's moral principles. This ties into Christian's story of the fall and the narrative of sin entering the world. The devil symbolizes the allure of worldly pleasures and the dangers of losing one's soul to temptation. Dualism and evil. In many traditions, the devil represents the forces of evil and is seen as opposing the good, often in a dualistic framework. The devil embodies moral or spiritual corruption, and the struggle against the devil is portrayed as a battle between light and darkness, good and evil. Freedom and individualism. The devil has been portrayed more ambiguously or even heroically in certain philosophical and literary traditions. For example, in John Milton's Paradise Lost, Satan is depicted as a tragic, rebellious figure who defies God and chooses to rule his own fate. Some later thinkers, such as Friedrich Nietzsche, have interpreted the devil as a symbol of individualism, freedom from the traditional moral constraints, and the rejection of slavish submission to authority. The shadow and the unconscious. In Carl Jung's psychological framework, the devil can be interpreted as a symbol of the shadow, the repressed, hidden aspects of the self that individuals must confront in order to achieve psychological wholeness. The devil represents the darker, unconscious aspects of human nature that need to be acknowledged and integrated rather than denied or externalized as purely evil. The devil and popular culture. In modern times, the figure of the devil has become a symbol of various cultural and social phenomena. Rebellion against authority. The devil is often portrayed as the ultimate anti-authority figure, a symbol of rebellion, freedom, and defiance against societal norms or religious dogma. This could be seen in works of literature, music, and film. In contemporary narratives, the devil is sometimes depicted in morally complex terms, often blurring the line between good and evil, as seen in novels like The Master and Margarita by Mikhail Bulgakov or films like The Devil's Advocate. The devil is often represented with traditional imagery such as horns, a tail, and a pitchfork, and these symbols have been used in a wide variety of contexts from Halloween costumes to rock music. The devil, or Satan, has evolved from a metaphorical figure representing human temptation and the adversarial role of evil to a complex and multifaceted symbol in various cultures. In religious traditions, the devil represents rebellion, temptation, and moral corruption, often as the antagonist to divine goodness. Philosophically and psychologically, the devil can symbolize individualism, the repressed shadow, or the struggle between freedom and order. Over time, the devil has also been co-opted as a cultural icon. representing rebellion and moral ambiguity in literature, art, and popular culture. The depiction of the devil has evolved dramatically throughout history, influenced by religious, cultural, and social changes, from ancient mythologies to modern popular culture. The figure of the devil has taken many forms, each reflecting and prevailing ideas about morality, power, and the human condition. That concludes this lore. If you like what you heard, please like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next lore. Bye.